If you've seen Jason Day's new swing, which is really taking a lot of pressure off his back, you guys will see a lot more of this post in the brace than his old leg action. It used to be real wide and kind of neutral. The weight transfer happens as a result of the chest turning on top of the instep of the back foot, turning on top of the instep of the front hip. So watch this. Head doesn't even move. Shoulder points behind the line. Like Nicholas would always do a drill like this, hitting balls like that. It kept the pressure on this side, took away lateral movement, really helped the rotation through the golf ball. Learn how to flex down, okay? Your eyes will stay in the same spot when you do that. Watch what happens when I sit back. The eyes come back. This one means a lot to me. And I know him as C-Dub. Others will know him as Colin Wilcox. We played on a junior Ryder Cup team together representing the United States. I then go to Pepperdine because of this guy right here. I enjoyed this guy so much, being on his team and just getting to know him through competing. We accomplished a lot at Pepperdine, on and off the golf course. So what I'm gonna get my man to do here is we're going to learn how to keep the sternum still, keep the hips square, shift the pelvis forward. It's gonna load pressure to the inside of the right foot. It's going to put up a little more pressure on the left foot. If you've seen Jason Day's new swing, which is really taking a lot of pressure off his back, he's really doing a great job, and I think Jason's going to make a great comeback, and he looks really good. You guys will see a lot more of this post in the brace than his old leg action. It used to be real wide and kind of neutral, and now he's in this position, able to make a more efficient turn.
The last couple of years, I've had a bad back.
Back in here?
And
right in here?
It's my sciatica, and I know there's stuff I can do to help that situation, but I think in the golf swing, I subconsciously, to try and protect it, or at least I can feel myself not wanting to post. Everything's just like trying to time it, because I'm not afraid, but at the end of the round, I can, getting older, you can feel it.
Everybody's heard, who's watched Porzak Golf's channel, has heard about the hip bump. It's the signature move. Here's the thing you need to understand. When done correctly, it alleviates the tension in the lower back and promotes a bigger turn, where the right pocket turns back towards the target, the left shoulder turns over, the body just turns more naturally. When done incorrectly or awkwardly, it can restrict your turn. And that's the thing, if you're doing the hip bump and you're feeling like it restricts your turn, put the brakes on that, because you're doing it incorrectly. Today, we're gonna go over what is correct and be very precise to that, and hopefully it helps you guys understand it more. Okay, we're gonna see a little bit more of a braced trail leg there. We're gonna see a little more of a posted up lead leg. Now, that hip bump that takes place an inch to the left, your belt line of your pelvis is perpendicular to your spine angle. So when you bumps the hips forward, the spine stays neutral and it just kicks back a little bit. So he's behind the golf ball with the ability to really coil more with the upper body, turn around the fixed points he creates into that brace, which loads the pressure into the inside of that right leg down to the foot. So you can see he turned around fixed points. Where's that chest? Right over the instep. There's where all that pressure builds.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the big thing. When we're set up, bud, we got weight stacked on our back leg. Okay, we're really kind of far off the outside of our front leg. You see that? So here's the big thing. The only way, so when you turn, you can see how this hip drops a little bit, okay? Now, when that hip drops a little bit, we have too much weight to the outside of our right foot. So you're not gonna be able to really do what Mark does. He's able to rotate around his lead leg and cover it with his upper body.
Right.
More powerful.
I'm almost like throwing my hips and my hands at the same time, trying to time it.
Long story short, this is what you look like. As opposed to being set with the angles to make the bigger turn and really load the pressure here and really turn and burn on the way through, you're stacked on the right side with too far away from the outside of the lead foot, turning in this position here. You do a good job turning, but around the points that just aren't correct in the setup. The inconsistency will be from too much lateral movement forced by your setup.
Right.
Now think about this. Pressure is shifted, or as some call it, the weight transfer, happens as a result of the chest turning on top of the instep of the back foot, turning on top of the instep of the front foot. Right. That's where the weight transfer happens, not because the lower body is placing pressure into the lower body. There's going to be natural lateral movement that happens, but none that's actively created. I'm going to process this the way I want Colin to process this. Keeping hips square, keeping sternum still. We're posting the hips up. Now, people ask us all the time, does it go back? Do the hips go back? The answer is yes. This right hip, the reason it feels like it goes at a 45-degree angle is people want to bump their hips, and guess what they do? they open their
up.
hips.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. Their knees have to stay in line, everybody.
Yeah.
If it's there, you're negating your turn before they start. So the reason why I feel this one go back like that is because that's a way of staying very square as I post up. From there, here's the key. Okay, there's our brace. So Dub's going to be able to look down and see the right knee on the inside of his right foot, and he's going to turn his chest over that right knee, and there's all the power. Your upper body should work like a merry-go-round around your spine. Whenever the lower body's sliding, the shoulders will work more like a Ferris wheel, right? So whenever your body has to go this way, just like the hips are perpendicular to the spine in the setup, if I go too much that way, well, now my shoulders start going this way. Like right here is the drill. The at home, the in the mirror, the at the golf course, it's right here. Instep on a line that's perpendicular to your target line. Grip out to the left. Shift the hips. Watch this. Head doesn't even move. Shoulder points behind the line. Right knee stays on the inside. Shoulder right over. That's the position right there. You should see your back have the same angle on the left side of it that your spine has at the setup. See this angle here? Watch how my back has that same angle to the top. Do you see that?
Yeah.
A typical sign of
you're
people who
getting
don't
your back
have
to the
that.
target. You're getting your back to the target every single time.
Every time. And I used to do this a lot too. I put the ball on my head right there, bump the hip, see the angles, and just turn those angles right there. And you can see how my head
just stay in there.
Doesn't move. But guess what? My chest is going from instep to instep. I feel that pressure shifting as I'm rotating, not as I'm laterally moving. Super powerful motion right there. Yeah, and this is going to be big for every club in the bag. People always ask about that. They say, hey, listen, the post and the brace, is that just for irons? Is that for... No, it's for everything. And the only thing that's changing here is width of stance, right? So the pressure will feel different in your feet as a result of that change in width of stance because your upper body is being supported by your lower body. So think about this, boys. When we have the outsides of our feet to the outsides of our shoulders for wedges, and I shift my hips 1 inch, well, that's more significant on my front foot. A wedge is going to be more 70-30 because, well, you can see my lead leg is supporting most of my weight. Well, now I go middle of feet to the outsides of shoulders for irons. That same shift, okay, well, I'm a little more over here now with my weight. That's going to be 60-40. But then watch this. I get wider. Now I bump my hips. Well, my upper body is actually being supported more by the inside of my right leg because of the width, 60-40.
It's kind of a domino effect.
Mm-hmm. That was beautiful right there, bud. See, when you get it more like that, you hit freezers. They just don't move,
You can hear it, too.
You hear it, too. It's on the center of the face. I can hear that. You have 20 yards in you, like easy.
I know.
Easy.
I know.
Here's what I want you to understand. When I'm setting up and I have my hip and my ankle in alignment, okay, when I'm standing up, I have 50% of my weight there, 50% here. Now, with forward tilt, without backing up my hips, so many will do this. They flex their knees and then tilt and they go like this. They sit the hip way back. Mm-hmm. Well, when you do that, you're putting too much weight in your heels. Now think about it. If the weight starts too much on this side of the line, halfway back, you're already loaded into your heel.
Yeah.
So then what has to happen? Arms pick up isolated of the body's turn. The pressure isn't loading, ready? At the same time that the arms and hands get to the top. So when your turn finalizes, 3 components of connection. The club, the hands and body, and the pressure. Club in front of hands, hands in front of body, and the pressure in the feet all arriving at the same time. That's the bow and arrow being pulled back to maximum tension. Right. So the big thing for you, from the down the line view, we're gonna, from the face on, bump the hip the correct way, create the post and the brace, alleviate the back pain, help us make a bigger coiled upper body turn, which is gonna turn into that brace and put more pressure in here so we can then push off around our left side. No need to slide. Guys, this will alleviate tension in your legs. You'll feel your heels. Watch this way. Keeping the hip over the ankle. Learn how to flex down, okay? Your eyes will stay in the same spot when you do that. Watch what happens when I sit back. The eyes come back, okay? Stay there. If there was a scale under my feet, I want you to feel like the balls of your feet are pushing into that scale and adding more weight. So then, ready for this? Back the feet up slightly, straighten up the knees and get your upper body more over it. Kind of, really hips more over ankles. There we go.
Like this?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
see more activated, like more.
I definitely feel like I'm on the balls of my feet, but not on my toes.
Exactly.
That's good.
It's good, like right in here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Like Nicholas would always do a drill like this, hitting balls like that. It kept the pressure on this side, took away lateral movement, really helped the rotation through the golf ball.
Right.
That's a big one right there. You know, it basically feels like there's door stops, especially under the outside of the right foot. You want to not sway as much and you want to not slide as much. You want to make better contact with ball divot contact. Here's what needs to happen. Here's your feet. Draw a line right down the middle of your foot, splitting it in half. You always want to have the pressure on the left half for a right-handed golfer. You never want to be on this side. That's just causing all sorts of problems. Keep the pressure on the inside, more what feels to me even on the outside of this one. It's more on the flat of the foot, to be dead honest, but
Yeah.
you just never want it rolling like this, okay?
Yeah.
Let's keep it going, Dub. Oh, dude.
At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.